Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for some more of the DUBAI Sevens. This is the first women's game that we are covering on the channel. It will be Fiji taking on Ireland. Now, this is an important game for both of these sides in their sevens campaign. Of course, every point is crucial in the women's side of the draw, because if you get yourself third place in your team, or in your pool, I should say, you can still qualify for the next stage. So currently, as the group sits, Ireland sitting at the top, 2 wins from 2. They are sitting on 6 points. But for Fiji, it's an important game for them here. They are sitting on 1 win, 1 loss. They did lose in their game a bit earlier on to the Spanish. They are just showing the last results between the two sides. We have seen Fiji win 4 out of the last 5 up against the Irish. But something that is interesting is they haven't actually announced the lineups for this matchup until now. So we will quickly take a photo of this so we do know exactly who will be out in the starting lineup. So for Fiji, there's going to be Wilson, Nabura, Devaya, Buleki, Alunisau, and Naimasi, with Riwai, the last lady, in their Fijian starting lineup. Then for the Irish will be Flood, Parsons, King, Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe, always a dangerous player for the Irish, and also Lucy Mulhull falls into that category also. Then Higgins and Lane, the last two in the starting lineup. So the undefeated Irish side so far throughout their poll looking to continue that winning streak, whereas the Fijiana women's team, they can beat any given side on any given day when they are on form. And the question is whether or not they do find that form for this matchup up against the Irish. But they are both running out onto the field, like I mentioned, for the Irish. They managed to get themselves a good win over Japan, 31 points to 24. It was a tough-fought victory, but they got there in the end, and also beating Spain 21 points to 7, whereas Fiji, they won against Japan 33 points to 14. They lost against the Spanish 21 points to 14. That was a bit of an upset, but the Spanish ladies' side has come a long way in recent times. Referee in charge of this one, Cisco Lopez, for his 25th match on this series here as well. Now, almost ready to go for this women's matchup. It will be Ireland kicking off from left to right here with Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe, a player to watch alongside her, Lucy Mulhull. They are my two for the Irish to watch out for. And then if I had to pick 2 players, Alunisau's got to be there for Fiji, because she has been brilliant anytime she plays on the 7th circuit. And also, I think Devaya's the other lady I would say as a dangerous option. But Mulhull about to kick us off now for this matchup between Fiji and the Irish. Kicking high and kicking long towards the 22. Nicely taken there by Wilson. Offload straight away from Fiji. We know that is something that they'll look to do throughout this whole matchup, is keep that ball alive. Nice one on the inside. Could have been to Lunisau, but instead it's still going to be a foot race. And it looks like straight away, just like that, Naimasi scores the try. For a moment, I thought that plane was low, says Nathan there. Yeah, I think they did a low flyover of the stadium. They were actually saying all about the ground, apparently, there a whole heap beside playing. I think it was kind of like a little bit of a plug for DUBAI while they had a bit of a gap to fill. A nice try, Fijiana. Very nicely done by Naimasi. Get through, score the first try of the contest. And it just seemed like she was going to need to pass it at some point, but she never had to. They weren't able to catch her. And Fijiana take the lead over the Irish. Missed kick attempt, though, unfortunately for her. So that will mean now that it does remain as 5-0, giving Irish side here just a little bit of a chance of breaking their way through the live stage of the pool. Points differential, Fiji pretty much need to win this game by 5 points to finish ahead of the Irish. Now offload, big shot on Mulhull, who has to face plant the ground, but it's still on the side of the Irish now, looking to the short side and breaking the line themselves. Work in the breakdown. Fijiana trying to get that ball back as soon as physically possible. Mulhull once again goes across now, looking into the midfield, trying to sling it wide to Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe. Now has the ball in hand. What can she do down the wing? Naimasi tries to stop her, but a great fend. Good low tackle. In fact, even better low tackle, you'd have to say, from Naimasi, the try scoring. Mulhull once again going back across here. I believe that's going to be the offside advantage in favour of Ireland here. Trying to go through. Stacey Flood finds the offload to Mulhull. They have gone a little bit long for that advantage, so they will be going back to where it initially did take place. Goes the way of the Irish. They've decided to take on the scrum. This will lure in an extra 3 of the Fijiana women's side to then open up the space on the outside. That is where Murphy-Crowe, also out on the other wing, To be fair, the short side's looking decent. They decide to go off that way, which might actually be an idea. I see Mulhall now lurking on that right-hand side. I think it might have been acknowledged by Parsons too. Right. Ball has gone in. They retain. Instead, they do decide to sling it wide to the left instead, although cutting up the middle straight through. And it will be another try, this time for the Irish number 10. Emily Higgins does manage to score it. And Ireland now, this will be an easy conversion attempt for them straight out in front of the post. Or sorry, Eve Higgins rather than Emily Higgins. Got the wrong E there, but just managed to break through. Alunisau wasn't able to quite stop her. Ireland, they'll be pretty happy to score right now in this contest. Just giving them enough time, maybe about 4 minutes left of this half to try and go through and get themselves some sort of extra lead. More than the 2 points, but that one is successful for the turnover, I should say. That will now make the score 7 points to 5. But the games later on that we are covering on the channel, ladies and gentlemen, the first of which, 2:45 a.m., New Zealand taking on the French. Also alongside that, we have got the other game that we are covering, the men's matchup between Samoa and the USA. That will be kicking off at 3:06 a.m. So we are starting at 3:05, but it's kicked off short by Mulhall. Knock on there. No, it's actually been called as back by White. So it's available for Ireland here once again. Try and get it out wide. Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe finds herself out on the right-hand side that time. A nice try, the Irish girls. Here's Nate. And there. And Nate, I forgot to ask, are you working tonight as well? Because I know that you did your 12-hour shift yesterday. Are you also on the 12-hour night shift today also? That was a lot of alsos. I use also way too much. I need to stop there. I was about to say also, but that would not work. Third versus fourth. Fiji getting them bronze in the last time that these ladies did end up playing. But all about to go in for the Fijiana. Alunisau having a push off the Irish defender there. Emily Lane. Is her name Emily? Is that why I'm getting confused? That's going to be a knock-on from Fiji, though. Everyone's name's Emily. My name's Emily. Why not? My name's not actually Emily. I feel like I need to clarify that. You never know. And nowadays, 2 minutes 15 left in the first half. 45 meters out from the line now. Alunisau, she tried to find the offload. 2-9 Masi just waited a tad too long to find that pass. And Ireland were able to shut it down nice and early. About to be fed in once again. And now you're a good boss. 5 hours left till knockoff. Ooh, okay. So you got a little bit of time to go. Smoko Brick, says Nate. So by the time I finish that Samoa versus USA stream, you will only have another 3 hours or 2.5 hours left. That's a knock-on from Ireland, I thought. But they have got the advantage in their favour. Now that is certainly a knock-on. So we'll be going back for the original advantage. Going in off feet. Penalty against the Fijians, and they will be 5 to 10 meters out from the line. It looks like they want to go for the scrum once again here for the Irish. Only 1 minute 30 left in the first half. Fiji are certainly under pressure. I'm trying to work out what they need to do to try and stop this momentum, but I think it's the handling errors is the main thing. It's hanging on to that ball a little bit more. We saw a great fend there going around the outside. I believe it was Bulecki was able not quite make that tackle on Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe, but the ball has gone in for the Irish. Now Mulhall slings it back across here. Nice step on the inside. Another good tackle made by Ireland. By Fiji. They aren't allowing the Irish to get through. Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe, no, this time she dropped. Oh, did she drop it? She's just managed to hang on to the ball. Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe gets the try right at the end of the first half for the Irish. She gets high fives from her teammates. But she was close to putting that ball on the ground, which she'll be disappointed about. Not much of a smile on her face at the moment. I think she knows that this is going to be a very tough game, but she runs out wide, almost knocked out of her hands. Bit of a juggle, but we'll see it from this angle that she was able to just hang on to that ball. Yeah, the slow motion. Yeah, she hangs on to it. Didn't look as bad from that side. Just little tiny juggle for Murphy-Crowe, but she scores the try anyway. And now the Irish with the tough drop kick attempt, misses away to the side. Still time for a set restart though. Or at least a restart from the halfway line, I should say. DUBAI 7 tries, we've already seen 175. And I appreciate it, Hamish. Keep us lads at work busy while watching and listening to your commentary, says Nathan there as well. So how many of you are in your area, Nate? Because I know you mentioned about being on a projector last year or sometime earlier this year. Like, do they get also very annoyed with having to listen to me? Like, are they like, can we not put it on a podcast or something, Nate? And you're like, no, I'm the boss. We will watch the Kiwi lads. That's a good counter ruck from Fiji. Ball bounces out on the side of the Irish, though, and they're certainly finding a bit more pressure here. Coming from the Fijiana defense. Another nice step from Higgins. Finds the pass on the outside. Now charging for the corner. It's a foot race, and she's got it down. Another good try. This time it was Parsons. And now Ireland will go into halftime with just a little bit more of a lead. The scoreboard's very slow updating at the moment, but it is currently sitting 17 points in favour of the Irish compared to the 5 of Fijiana. So they started not too badly, Fiji, but from here, just seems like Ireland have trapped them inside of their own half. We've only seen one real attack for Fiji, and that's actually when they scored that try. Other than that, everything else has been going Ireland's way, and Fiji need to try and work out a way of stopping that. In the second half, Mulholland once again does not have the distance on that kick. So it will remain at 17 points to 5 heading into halftime. 2 converted tries here for Fiji, gets them in the lead. That'll be exactly what they want. And also we have got there 5 lads on the floor at the moment, 4 on the forks or forklifts, including myself, says Nate. I've always wanted to drive a forklift. I know I wouldn't be very good at driving a forklift because I crashed it in like random games like GTA, but be a fun one. It's a long day for you. How much more rugby remaining for today, says Coding. So we have still got another 2 matches of the Sevens coming up a bit later on. 2:45 a.m. New Zealand versus France for the women's side of the draw. And then at 3:06, Samoa versus USA. At around 2 a.m., I should also mention we are going to have our preview coming out for Samoa versus USA. And then after that last live stream, I'll be going to sleep, waking up at about 10:30. So that's when Isaac and George going to be starting heading round. And then I think we're going out and about for the day up till the afternoon, where I will be doing more cricket commentary with a bit of luck and also some DUBAI Sevens coming into the evening. Solid days planned out at the moment for myself, but I think by the end of it, my eyes are going to look like this. But we're used to that because I just realized then the day after that, we are filming a podcast in the morning. Picture up at the moment, my brother in Thailand on vacation. The Stink Clown made us do more works, says Nate there. Currently 17 points to 5. The Irish leading over Fiji. Not the way that the Fijiana women's side would have been wanting it to go because they got the first try of the game. It was a strong one, scored by Naimasi, but from there, like I mentioned, territory, such an important factor in sevens, and Fiji haven't been able to get out of their own half, whether it's from errors or whether it's from penalties against them. It's both adding up nicely. Taken there for Ireland, though. Tackle low. It was number 13, King. Now down the wing once again. Higgins starts to get the skip going. Fiji are looking for that turnover. They just can't quite get it, though. And it looks like now they've got to play it down with a bit of an injury. She's got back to her feet now. King once again looks for the offload. It's actually smacked Alunisau straight in the face. But because of it, it almost stayed in the field of play till it bounced out. Unfortunate for Alunisau there. She thought she was in with a decent crack, having a run. But she does look like she's got some sort of injury at the moment. You hope that that's nothing too serious. Definitely if Fiji do make it further in the competition, find themselves through to the quarterfinals. A line-out throw for the Irish. Goes to the front. Nice and basic from them. That was a good little cheap shot there from Fiji. Just trying to put that physicality out there on this Ireland side. Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe goes on the inside. Finds the offload as well. Now Higgins starts driving the legs. Not able to find the offload. Now she finds Mulhull with it. Another offload up to Amy Lee Murphy-Crowe. This is sensational work from Ireland. Finding another offload. Lane now has to run backwards. She's going to be trapped in a great tackle by, it was Riwai. Penalty goes the way of Fiji. Right. First position for quite some time. Running up the middle of the field. Rough pass. Out in front. Offload not successful. Another penalty goes the way of Fiji. Not back the 10 metres. Pretty lucky because they did throw that ball away. Quick tap taken by Alunisau. She needs support, and she's found it in the former Naimasi, the try scorer. Another great offload. Inside ball now going off to DUBAI, I believe it is. Almost Ireland. They do get themselves the penalty. Like they're saying, they're missing quite a few of them regular players here are the Fijians, and it is seeming like that chemistry is not quite there for them, whereas this Irish group, they've been together for a long time. They've started pretty well in the Sevens competition, 2 from 2 wins. Now Ireland looking to slow it down. Okay, they're going to go for the scrum here once again. Double blow of the whistle, though. It looks like substitution is going to be taking place. Coming off the field, Wilson to replace her. I mean, you've got Nkothi off the bench. I'd like to see her out there. Also, Kavuru getting another opportunity in the Fijian kit. It looks like it was actually Nkothi who made her way out there, and she will be accompanying that left wing side. Pakistan is also 181 for none after 51 overs. This pitch will again declared not suitable for Test cricket by ICC. Yeah, they're just building roads. I think it's the cheapest way of getting a road built is just say that you're going to play a cricket test on it. Like they'll put the tarmac over the top afterwards, ship it off to somewhere and fill in a big gap that they got in the roading system over there. It's a bit of a shame. Have we seen a result in Pakistan yet in all of their test matches, Cody? I think there's maybe one result that we've seen. Other than that, I think every other game has been a draw, unfortunately. Now Mulhull goes across here once again. Great step from Higgins in the midfield. She's got the pace, and she's going to be able to score the try for the Irish once again. That will move them up to 22 points to 5 now in the lead over the Flying Fijians. But Eve Higgins, she's got 4 in Dubai. That is her double for this game as well. Just a great step. Breaks through. She had the pace. She had an interesting expression on her face as she tried to run that one in. Looked like she was trying extremely hard to keep those legs striving before the try line. And also solid batting by Pakistan, says Nate. Yeah, it just seems like everyone's going to be able to get a lot of runs. You want to go to Pakistan if you want to get your batting average up by the sounds of it. Although don't ask Joe Root because that went badly. He unfortunately got out early. But I always said it throughout England's batting. I said, we've got to just wait until we see Babar Azam and Muhammad Rizwan both batting on that surface to know whether or not it's just that England batted extremely well or the pitch is extremely poor for Test cricket. And I believe the answer is it's extremely poor for Test cricket, unfortunately. And New Zealand will also play 2 tests in Pakistan starting in 27th of December. Kane Williamson will also get big runs. I hope so. It will build up his confidence if he is able to get it right on the Pakistan surface. But by that stage, I think we'll almost be able to cover a little bit more Test cricket because we will have the BBL starting up, but not a lot of rugby going on other than a little bit of Champions Cup every once in a while on the channel on the weekends. FIFA World Cup, I think, is almost over by then as well, so we're going to have a few more gaps opening up in the schedule, which is always nice, even though normally straight away if I have a gap, I just fill it in with something else, and then there's no gap. That's a yellow card. She's thrown the ball forward. I think she knew exactly what she was doing. Dangerous position landing, and Fiji will get themselves that penalty. It's going to be Baker. She's only recently made her way onto the field and already has been taken off. 2 minutes 40 left in this one. Fiji still down by a lot of points. They need 3 converted tries to get themselves back into the contest. Alunesau finds the offload now, gives it to Nkothi, beats her on the outside. Mulhull in a foot race. She thinks she's going to get her, but she wasn't quite able to. And Nkothi, recently coming on the field, scores the try. Nicely done for Fiji, and that will make this game a little bit closer now. Aloisi, Nkothi, the lady who I said they needed to bring off the bench, and she has done exactly what I expected she would, running through opposition. My voice is almost gone. That's not ideal. Got a lot more rugby and cricket coming up in the near future. That is for sure. 2 more matches of the Rugby Sevens tonight. France versus Australia, and also alongside that, we have got the other matchup taking place between Samoa and USA. Kicked off long. Slap back by Fiji. Sits up for them. Here we go. There's another opportunity here. It is going to be Bessie. Had to look for her name there. It kind of looked like my son more, but of course that is one of the Fijian players. Offload again. All they need to do is get over the line. They do so. Another try for Fiji. How did they miss that kick straight out in front, though? That is the big question I have, because it was one of the simplest kicks they could have had. Somehow they still managed to miss it. That makes me concerned. Might mean that they still need to score another 2 tries to have a chance. This kick would be a very good one to get over. Only 1 minute left on the clock. The points differential starting to go in favour of the Fijians in terms of getting that third place position. They'll have a tough game, though, in the quarterfinals. The top qualifier of one of the groups. It's nicely done. That time scored by Kavuru, my other super sub. And then Fiji don't kick at 10 metres. And that is now going to be the tap for Ireland on the halfway line. So the last thing they wanted there was to give away the ball back to the Irish. Yeah, like I mentioned, 2 a.m. It's when our live stream, or not our live stream, sorry, our video is going up of Samoa versus USA, our preview, score prediction for that game. Everything is all in that video. And did end up filming it a bit earlier on. I'm a bit concerned about my green screen, though. It's currently leaning up against the window, because it just falls down now, unfortunately. It wasn't well built. I won't call out the green screen manufacturer, but it's a brand that you would think should have been good at building green screens, who clearly were not. Now, fire back. Ireland going to kick this one into touch. End out the game with the win. 24 points to 15. A good game, girls, says Nate. And there's Mulhall just yelling in the face of Baker. I think it was more of a, don't worry about the fact you got a yellow card, do better next time, I think was probably the comment from Lucy Mulhall. But nonetheless, that is the end of this live stream. Like I mentioned, the next one that we are doing, ladies and gentlemen, will be the matchup between France and New Zealand at 2:45 a.m. And great game, says Ezra. It certainly was a little bit of fight back from the Fijians late in the game, but Ireland was still too strong with those early points they were able to get on the board. But thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next one.